Okay. Oh, why do I have to be sick right now? Alright. Hello, guys. It's Hannah. This should be very interesting. Okay, so I'm sick, so, like, don't mind the cold talk. But yeah, basically today I just wanted to film an update video from my video from 2 months ago now, I think it is. If you can tell, I tried to look better for this video because my last video that people were asking me to update on, I looked horrid. So, basically I'm just gonna fill you guys in on what has happened since that video was filmed and how I'm feeling and how everything is going, basically because people asked for it. Yeah, so the reason I have this in front of me is because I made a list. It's a very short list because not a ton has happened, but like I made a list for me to refer to because I have like short-term memory loss and I have a tendency to go off topic a lot. But yeah, so I think where I left off in my last video was pretty negative, to say the least. I was in a very bad place. I was dealing with my depression and my decision to either stay in school or to leave school, and that's a topic that I do want to talk about that I'm going to mention. I left school. I am no longer in college. I left Curry for the simple fact that I just wasn't okay with myself. I was in a very, very negative place and school wasn't helping whatsoever. I think I mentioned this in my video from a couple months ago that I have always put mental health before education. I don't know if that's a bad thing or not, but that's just how I am. I have always put like my personal health and mental health before anything because that's very important to me. And coming from my perspective, it's very necessary. After I left school, it was within maybe a week after I left school. This day in particular has stayed with me and has been significant to me ever since it happened because I knew I wanted to talk about it. Like, I knew I wanted to either make another video or make a post or do something. I knew I wanted to talk about it because it was really significant in the story. So basically what happened is I was about to go to work one day and it wasn't good for me back then to go to work but have the morning to myself. Usually I would say that I need the morning to myself to like relax before I go into work, but because of my depression and anxiety and time management problems, so I had basically the day to sit here and feel bad is the best way that I can really explain it. So my mom wasn't home, my sister wasn't home, and so I was just by myself with my dogs. I don't know where I'm going with that, but basically I was perfectly fine. Like, I was listening to music, I was getting ready for work. It was like an hour and a half before I had to go in. All of a sudden, I just broke down. I don't know what happened. Like, I was like perfectly fine. I was listening to music, and then all of a sudden my brain just went into a completely different mindset. And I broke down in my bathroom. And I knew my sister was coming home from school soon. So I called my mom because I didn't know who else to talk to and I needed to like vent to someone. So I called my mom. She was at work and I couldn't even get words out on the phone. Like, I was just freaking out. It was just a very bad situation. After like 10 minutes on the phone of me just crying, like I wasn't even really saying anything, she was just like, "Do you need me to come home?" And she wasn't supposed to come home for like a few more hours, and I was just like, "Yeah, like, can you please come home?" And she said yeah, so she came home, She got home at like the same time my sister got home from school. So basically they both came home and my mom came up to the bathroom and I was bawling my eyes out. Like it was bad. I think that was my lowest point with my depression as of thus far. They both came up to the bathroom and I basically, all I could get out was that I didn't want to do this anymore. I didn't want to keep dealing with what I was dealing with. I didn't want to go through any of it anymore. Like I wanted to be done. They were both upstairs in the bathroom with me crying. It broke me like even more. It was really hard to see both of them. It's hard to see them upset in any circumstance, but because it was because of me and because of what I was saying and because of how done I truly was, it wasn't okay. And my sister gave me like this small pep talk. Like she was just like, you have so many people that care about you. You need to just be grateful for that, because if you, they were both saying like, if you were gone, I don't know what I would do. So that was the mental breakdown day that I wanted to get. After that is when everything else kicked in. So basically after that day, my mom, before that, like in my last video I think I mentioned, I'm not sure if I did, that my mom was basically just thinking that I was very moody and I would just get mad for no reason and I was just a very angry person. There is an imbalance in my brain, like I don't know how else to explain it. That's what it is. And so when I was depressed, I was a completely different person. I wasn't who I truly am. So that was why I was getting angry all the time. That's why I was just always in a bad mood. That's why I was always just like not there, I guess. I wasn't really there. She would look over at me if we were sitting in like the living room or whatever, and she would look at me and I would just be like staring off into space with like an emotionless face. Like I had no emotion. I was basically like not there. My mom noticed that there really was an issue, so she took off the next day I think, to call a bunch of therapist office, like outpatient programs, whatever she could find that we could get into. And she called this hospital that's nearby that has an outpatient program, which basically means you don't go in and you're not like a patient living there getting the full-time care, but you go in for like for like a full day for like 2 weeks at a time. So that's what I tried to do. Went in, we had to wait for like a half hour to actually like get called in, because I had to do an intake, which is basically just when they like talk to you, see what's going on, see what they can do to help you, like see what your case is. And so I had to do that. Then we had to wait for like a half hour to actually go in. So that gave me time again to overthink, get upset, all that stuff. So I broke down. I like within like the minute that I was supposed to go in and be there for the entire day by myself, I overthought and I basically just like broke down, walked over to the car outside, and my mom had to get the lady that did my intake, she had to come out to the car in the freezing cold to get me to go back inside and stay for the day. And I was like, I don't want to. Like, you don't understand. I do not, I like, that's what I said. I was like, I don't want to go back in. And she was like, well, you like have to. I was like, okay. So I went back in, stayed the day. It was fine, but it just didn't help. But I just wasn't in the mindset to sit there and talk about my issues. I just didn't want to. I didn't like the group setting. It was just all in all, just like, no. What did come out of that is I saw a nurse practitioner who prescribed me on antidepressants. And ever since I've been taking those for the past month and a half, 2 months, it's helped a lot because I got more motivated to go out and do stuff. I felt better about going to work. I like wanted to go out with my friends a lot more. I did not want to stay home. For the first like 2.5, 3 weeks, I was only at home like during nighttime, maybe once or twice, because I was always out doing something, because that's what they like, the meds like made me want to do. I just couldn't, I did not want to stay home. I wanted to get out and I wanted to go and be with my friends because that helped me not feel awful. Basically, that's my update. This video is a lot shorter. It's like half the time than my other video, which I think is good because my other video was wicked long, but I think this is a good length to just kind of update everyone that wanted an update on how everything's going. There are definitely still bad days that I have because this isn't just gonna go away with meds or with therapy. I'm gonna have bad days. I'm gonna have days where I don't want to do anything. I'm gonna have days where I just need to cry or be upset. And that's perfectly fine because I think I went like a month without crying, without feeling sad, without feeling like any type of emotion that depression makes you feel, which probably was a mix of healthy and unhealthy because everyone needs to have bad days. I just want to like preach that, like everyone, no matter how much they put out of like their happiness and of their like good days and of like their good life, everyone has bad days, and I want to kind of put that out there. I'm not the only person with problems. I know that my problems are probably very minuscule to other people's problems. Everyone has their own stuff, and I just want to get that out there because everyone has bad days. I still have my bad days. It's only been 2 months and it's just been a good 2 months, but like I've been better, but I still have my bad days. Last but not least, to close off this video, I just want to say that anyone who's going through stuff right now, it does, I swear to God, it does get better. No matter what you need to do, if you need to get on meds, if you need to go to therapy, if you need to do outpatient, if you need to actually go like see someone permanently or for an extended amount of time, it does get better. Like if you find something that helps you, I know it's really hard to get motivated to get out and find something, like trust me, I know how hard it is to be motivated when you're going through stuff, but once you find something that helps you temporarily and you keep doing it, then it's just going to help you more and more. So it does get better, it does get easier to deal with, it does get better to cope with, it gets better. I'm currently just trying to take care of myself, trying to get better, trying to stay on this path that I'm on because I am getting better. I'm having more good days than bad days. And yeah, so it gets better, everyone. It really does. And I just want to preach that. Thank you for watching. If you watched the whole thing, thank you. I'm glad you were interested in my update for my story. I hope you all have a great day, great night, whatever time you're watching this. And yeah, I will see you all very soon. Bye!